Alrighty. Hello. I am Rob.
D.
We have another 30-minute workout. You're going to need some equipment. Pair of dumbbells. That's it. Or if you have a selection of dumbbells, you could have a couple of different dumbbells depending on your weights and stuff like that. We're only using one pair right today. As always, we're going to do 8 exercises, 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rep, 3 laps. Bada boom, bada bing. You're done. We're going to do a warm-up, all that jazz. Anything to add to that?
No?
No, is
So
that
let's
pretty
get into
concise?
it.
All right.
Yeah.
For once, I was pretty much on top
point.
of things.
Yeah,
All right.
look at that.
Hooray for
Okay,
everything.
guys. So we're going to start with forward lunges. Okay, stepping forward. Okay, alternating legs, making sure that knee does not go past your toes. Okay, nice deep breath, chest stays up. Slow controlled movement here, really pushing through the heel as you come back from that lunge. Nice. I'm going to do one more per side. Okay, now side to side lunges, so nice and wide on your feet. You're gonna press into one side, shift that weight over the other. Really think about shooting your bum all the way back here. Nice. Stretching those inner thighs. Warming up those legs. I'm gonna do one more each side. Okay, I'm gonna switch for 10 mountain climbers. And then follow it up with 3 push-ups. You can do your push-ups on your toes or on your knees. Nice. Straight back on the mountain climbers. So that one more time. Driving those knees all the way in on those mountain climbers. Okay, and now turn it onto your back. Into hip thrusters, so feet flat on the ground, knees at 90. You're gonna raise your hips up, squeeze your glutes at the top. Give it a little bit of a pause to really activate those glutes. Nice deep breaths. Good. And now rest your hips down, tuck your knees in, back roll, sit up, split your legs, reach forward, nice long stretch. Slow control here. Nice, trying to really round your back on that roll. Now one more. Okay, we're gonna pop up onto your feet. Do forward and back shuffles and hip openers. So nice big circles all around the world. Nice deep breaths. Good, and we're almost done here. Jumping into our first lap. Okay, one more. Okay, and jump squats, or if jumping is not for you, doing regular body weight squats. Either way, make sure you're pushing through the heels, sitting all the way back, keeping that chest nice and tall. 2, 1. All right.
So D is going to tackle the first 4. We will, and then I will sadly take the last 4, which means I have to go last, which I'm not thrilled about. What we're going to do is we're going to be doing lunges. So we're going to stay on one leg first. D's going to get nice and low, and then just pass that dumbbell back and forth underneath her leg. So you want to keep your chest up, and you don't want to rush the pass. So get into your lunge, get set, and then pass the weight with control. So if you have a different selection of dumbbells, you might probably want to go a little bit heavier here, just to make that leg work a little bit more, since you're only using one. Otherwise, if you have just one pair of dumbbells, and then maybe it's not the heaviest, what you do is you will hold that lunge a lot longer at the bottom, a real slow, controlled pass, in order just to make the leg work a little bit harder. All right, so 15 seconds, we're now going to switch over to the other leg, while Bruce does some gardening behind, eating the weeds. All right, so getting ourselves ready. Here we go. So once again, chest up. Good way when you're doing a lunge is to visualize yourself stepping over a puddle. That way you can ensure that you're going to get enough distance to get that nice 90-degree bend. Too often we're either too far or we're not stepping enough. So just visualize a nice little average size puddle that you just got to step over. There you go. So nice and controlled. You might really want to hold that lunge. Just don't come springing down and springing up and really tossing that weight. You're moving the weight with control, with intention. 3 seconds. All right, we're gonna lie on our stomach now. We're gonna do a hamstring curl with a dumbbell. Was that? No, we're doing the sumo squat. Once again, I can't even read what's clearly written in front of me. My excitement. So what Dee's gonna do, she's gonna do a sumo squat. So she's gonna be a little bit wider than your regular squat stance. Notice that her toes are flared out a little bit so you can really work the inner thigh here. Doesn't get a lot of TLC. And then nice controlled bicep curl into that shoulder press. Now notice that she's not just swinging her arm. She's broken it into 3 different parts to make sure all 3 muscle groups are actually working. So she's treating it as a squat, a little bit of a pause, controlled bicep curl, a little bit of a pause into the shoulder press. And notice a nice slow tempo on the way down as well. She's not letting the weights drop. You want to control the movement, through the whole movement, instead of just half-assing it and let gravity take over, because you're robbing yourself of gains. Hashtag gains. People even saying that word anymore? I don't know. I probably just dated this video. We're now going to be lying on our stomach. This is going to be the hamstring curl. She's going to have the weight between her feet. All right, and she's going to really just concentrate on curling. Your hamstrings are made up of 3 muscles right back here on the back of the leg. So this is where you want to feel this joy and bliss. Once again, it's really important that you go nice and slow on the way down, nice and slow on the way up, just to really keep that joy and bliss right there. And once again, therapy dog, sensing the urgency and the distress in D, comes racing over to provide some therapy. Got about 10 more seconds, so nice controlled pace. You want to just have that tip of the dumbbell just kind of kiss the floor. You don't want to let it rest too much on the floor. That way we're keeping our hamstrings engaged the whole time. All right. Is it me now? Yeah, it's me now, isn't it?
Yep, it's you. It means I get to talk. All right. Guys, we're doing push-ups with renegade row with the tricep kickback combo. So top of the push-up position. Okay, starting with 1 push-up. So notice how Rob's hands are in line with his chest. And then he's doing a renegade row into a kickback. Okay, so as he's doing that, he's really stabilizing through his core, keeping his hips parallel to the ground, not letting his hips rotate or shift or move in the process. So that's the whole challenge here, is to really fire up those abs as he's raising that arm, extending it back. Lots of control. Again, you want to eliminate the momentum out of this. Go nice and controlled. Deep breaths. Inhale on the way down. Good. Now for this one, if you need to modify, you drop your knees down and do the entire exercise on your knees, keeping your back neutral as well. All right, so we're doing isometric squat with an overhead extension here. Okay, so feet shoulder width apart. I'm gonna have Rob go into a squat position, hold that squat, and he's going to just raise his arms up above his head, very slowly return back down. So it's an extension and a flexion at the shoulder joint. Okay, chest stays that, back is neutral, abs are tight. Okay, he's sitting all the way back into his heels. So maybe we can have him turn sideways.
Yeah.
For you guys, you can see. So you'll see how his knees are in line with his feet, his shoulders in line with his knee. Everything is kind of in a nice straight line here. Back is neutral. He's not rounding his back. The tendency will be to do that because you have a weight in your hands. You're really trying to focus on opening up through the chest. Slow, nice, big reach all the way up. Super slowly with control on the way down. Good, done and done. All right, we're doing Russian twists next. So
that was kind of horrifying.
Wasn't that bad.
Oh my goodness.
Wasn't that bad. He's just complaining. Okay, so V-sit position, chest is up, spine nice and long, top of the head to the sky. We're gonna rotate around the spine. So notice how Rob is turning his head with his torso. So everything is turning at the same time. Okay, rotating around the spine. He's controlling the movement. Okay, there's no momentum. He's not swinging. If you want to take it to a new level, you can raise one leg up or both feet up. Okay, and find your balance here. Really challenge your hip flexors, lower part of your abdominals a little bit more. Nice deep breaths. And there's Bruce with his emotional support.
He knew right away.
Yeah. Nice deep breaths. Super slow control. You can also reach down a little bit lower with that dumbbell. Increase that rotation a little bit more if you can, as long as you're keeping nice and straight back. All right, last but not least, we're doing crunch punches. Okay, so you're setting up down on your back, both dumbbells in your hands. You're gonna go into a full sit-up position with your feet flat on the floor, and then just punch right, left as you're at the top of that sit-up. Okay, so nice strong exhale right here. Good. Nice big punch, slow control. So if your dumbbells are a little bit heavier, you can just use one dumbbell in both hands and then just extend your arms out at the top instead. Okay, so you come up and then full extension. Okay, so if your dumbbells are a bit too heavy to do this with both, you can just modify and use one. Okay, nice slow control movement, no momentum. So notice how Rob's controlling that lift. He's lifting with his chest, he's not pulling with his chin, he's keeping his feet planted on the ground. Nice controlled extensions. Right, one more here. Good. All right, done lap number 1. Lap 2. So we're gonna keep going. Now, as always, if you need a rest, take a minute, no longer than a minute. Pause this video, come back in 60 seconds. Okay?
Exactly.
Other than that, we keep going.
All right, so once again, going into those lunges, little bit of a pass, back and forth. So what we can do too to make this a tiny bit more challenging, just hold the lunge a little bit more. She's gonna hold the lunge, pass it, and then pass it back, and then come up. And then that way we can hold that lunge a little bit longer to make those legs work a little bit more. If that's too much, obviously go back to the single. But for those of you who can be challenged and your form can handle it, it's an opportunity of just kind of squeezing a little bit more je ne sais quoi out of the lunge, which makes it seem so much fancier and classier, if I do say so myself. All right.
I don't know about fancy and classy.
So fancy and classy. Nothing but top tier content here. All right, so now we're going to switch over to the other leg. So once again, too, if you do have a selection of dumbbells, you know, and you feel like you could go heavier and you have a heavier option and your form can handle it, try it. Worst case scenario is you only can do a couple of reps, you put down the heavier weight and you just pick the next lighter weight up and you keep on going. No harm in trying. Just be honest with yourself and your form if it's not right yet. There we go. Moving right along, just put 20 more seconds. So you should be trying to match Dee's pace here. Nice and control. Chest is up. Nice depth in the lunge. Look how low her knee is getting. Maintaining that nice 90-degree bend in that front leg and in their back leg. Almost there. Huzzah! All right, we're now going into that sumo squat with the bicep curl and the shoulder press. So once again, remember, you want a wider stance. Notice, don't look at where Dee's feet are. Look at where her heels are. Her heels are outside of her shoulders. So you want your heels wider than shoulder width, and then have those toes flared out a little bit. And then once again, with control, breaking it into the 3 movements: squat, curl, press, nice and slow on the return down. Now, what you want to be aware of here throughout this whole movement are your abs. All right, they're your best friend in this exercise, helping to keep that torso and core all nice and stable. So have it nice and engaged. And what we mean by engaged is, you know, whether someone's about to give you a little punch to the stomach and you tense up, or if someone scares you and you kind of tense up, that feeling, that's the feeling you want in your abs when you're doing these movements, especially as you're coming up from that squat. All right, we're doing the hamstring curl. And nice and control. So once again, this is an opportunity to play with the weight. If you feel like you can go a little bit heavier with that weight, do so, but please be mindful. Listen to your body. If feels a little bit too much. Remember, we just want to keep it right in this range right here on the back of the leg. That's right where we want it. Now it's a nice, slow, deliberate pace and tempo that Dee's doing. She's controlling the movement, really fighting gravity on the way down to make those muscles work nice and hard throughout the whole movement. 5 more seconds. And then sadly I have to go.
Woo.
All right.
Very exciting for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys, so back to the push-up, renegade row, and tricep kickback combo. So again, you can modify this and go down on your knees. Okay, just make sure your back stays neutral, abs stay tight. Now to make it a little bit more delightful, you can always bring your feet closer together. So decreasing the base of support here will definitely make it way more challenging for your core.
I'm gonna do the knee first.
You're gonna do the knee first. Of course, he's gonna do the knee first.
Well, you talked about it, and
Yes.
I thought it's important that we demonstrate it.
Well, it's very important. Nice, that's it. So you see Rob's body still in a straight line here. So now he's gonna bring his feet a little closer together, decrease the base of support, and make it way more challenging for the renegade row into tricep kickback combo. Slow, controlled. So notice as he's shooting his elbows up, keeping it nice and high for the tricep kickback, slow, controlled. Good. All right.
Mother of pearl. All right.
Isometric squat with an overhead extension. Okay, so again, we're staying nice and low in the squat. Nice. Deep breath, and chest is open, shoulders pulled back. So really think about firing up muscles in the upper part of your back and the posterior shoulder and your delts. Raising those arms up. So notice that Rob is not shrugging his shoulders in the process. He's keeping those shoulders nice and low, away from his ears. Nice long spine, abs super tight. Nice. The slower you do this exercise, the more effective it becomes. Okay, and we have 12 seconds left. Nice, slow, controlled. You should also start feeling burn in your legs at this point as well.
Oh, it's burning.
It's burning. And 3, 2, 1. All right, Russian twist. So 90 degrees bend in your knees, 90 degrees bend in the hips. Back is straight, chest is up, and here we go. So slow, controlled. Deep breaths. Just keep breathing through it. Good. Remember, you're rotating your entire torso. Okay, so lots of oblique work. One leg up or both feet up. You want to make it more challenging. Good. Nice. So again, you can work with the range of motion that you have and go a little bit lower with that dumbbell on each side. Increase that rotation as well, just as long as you're not caving your back, you're not rounding your back, you're keeping nice long spine throughout. Okay, we have 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. All right, sit up, punches.
I'll do the modified one first.
Yeah. So again, you can use just one dumbbell and you're doing both arms at the same time. In we go. Boom. Here comes Bruce with his emotional support. Okay, nice. Far right, left. Good. Slow control on the way down. So you're coming down one vertebra at a time. Again, you're trying to resist that gravity. Really engage your abs rather than use the momentum. Okay. Now, if doing a full sit-up is challenging, you can do just like a partial sit-up or a crunch. Come up, lift the chest up, do the punch there, and then go back down. So notice that Rob is just lifting his chest up. He's leading the movement with the chest. He's not pulling with his chin. He's actively engaging and firing up those abs. Nice. Good. Beautiful. And we have 2, 1, done. All right, guys. One more lap. Same drill. We keep going. If you need a rest, take 60 seconds. Come back in 60. You can pause the video if you need to and return in 60 seconds.
Just don't do what Bruce is doing. Just lie down on the ground.
Just don't do that.
No. Way to demonstrate what not to do, Bruce. Good job, buddy. Good job by you.
He's just giving Rob an evil look right away. by the way. You can't see that, but it's like an evil look of, you know.
So our passive aggressive dance continues. 10 years strong. All right, nice and low. Once again, remember you want that 90-degree bend in your front leg and in your back leg. Remember, have that little extra step to get into that position and really press through the floor with that lead leg. Too often people try to push too much off the back foot. Back foot's more there for stability. All right, you want to isolate that lead leg and make it work. All right, getting ourselves ready. And the great thing about this last lap is you're saying a beautiful goodbye to each of these exercises. You're rid of it for the rest of the day. Unless you want to practice it later on in the day, which we won't fault you for doing.
Nope.
So remember, once again, nice and control. Nice depth, chest is up. Strong press through the ground to get yourself back up. There we go. And coming up on our last 10 seconds. There we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, moving along.
Thank you.
Yep. Squat, bicep curl, press. So once again, like I was saying before, really be aware of your abs here. The more stable you are in your core, the easier it is for your legs just to go straight up. It's not compensating for instability in your torso.
Oh,
Yeah,
press.
don't forget that press.
Almost forgot there.
Nice depth. Notice how she's taking like little tiny pause at the top, tiny little pause here, tiny little pause here, tiny little pause at the bottom. So that way she makes sure she can engage the muscles and she's not bouncing, she's not using momentum, she's not swinging her way through the movement. She's focusing on the muscles, not the joints. So 7 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, last one for D.
Yay!
Hamstring curl. And then sadly I have to take over for the home stretch. I'm the anchor, running the anchor leg. All right, let's get ourselves ready. Nice curl, slow release, back and forth. So once again, you should be matching D's tempo right now and that range of motion. Nice and control. Notice that she's really taking her time to fight gravity as she lowers the dumbbell. So nice and control, gentle touch on the ground, and she's right back up again. So those hamstrings are under constant tension for the whole 45 seconds. You have less than 10 to go. 3, 2, 1. All right, 4 minutes, we're done. Last little push here.
All right, guys, so push up, renegade row, kick back, tricep kick back combo. So choose your level. If you're starting to fatigue, obviously drop down onto your knees. So you want to make sure you're not caving your back, you're not arching your back, you're not compromising your form. This is a very complex exercise. It involves 3 different movements all in one. So make sure you choose a level that still allows you to challenge your body, but obviously with good form. So slow, controlled, keeping those hips nice and parallel to the ground. Okay? Nice deep breaths. And we only have 15 seconds left here. Final couple of reps. Going all the way down, full depth on those push-ups. Nice. Good. All right. Isometric squat with overhead extensions.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. 2,
Oh my goodness.
1. Let's get into the squat. So once again, notice that Rob's shoulder, his knee, and his foot are all in one straight line here, and that's what you're looking for in maintaining that position. Nice and strong. Remember, if you're starting to fatigue, you can just stand up, reset your legs, go back down into the squat, and keep working.
Don't mind if I do.
You don't have to. I was just saying. Everybody knows how to stand up.
That was proper to demonstrate.
15 seconds, guys. Last few reps here. Nice slow control. Staying strong. Exhale on that lift, keeping those abs really engaged here. Sitting into those heels. 2, 1. All right, last 2 exercises. Both abs, Russian twists next. Okay, and 3, 2, 1. And again, nice strong rotation around the spine. Focusing on lifting the chest, top of the head towards the sky. Good. And again, both feet up, 1 foot up, feet down on the ground. Choose your level at this point. Nice deep breaths. Slow, controlled, only 20 seconds to go. And if you're really looking for more challenge, you can do one of the 2 things. Extend your legs out more, okay, and reach with the dumbbell up more in front, a little bit higher, extending those arms. So the further away that dumbbell is away from your body, from the center of your body, the harder it gets on your core. Okay, good. All right, sit-up punches. So just maybe move up. Yep, good. Yes, and Bruce got a big smile on his face. All right, grand finale, here we go. Nice controlled movements. So notice that Rob is not just throwing his arms, he's deliberately extending his arm to engage his shoulder muscles. Nice, keeping his chest up at all times. Nice. Deep breath, exhale as you lift. Nice. Coming down. And look at that, we only have 15 seconds to go, then we're finished. Nice, last few reps, 10 seconds strong. Good. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Activity completed.
Done and done.
Boom.
Awesome job, guys. Very nicely done.
All right. Let's just get your breath. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna get down onto our knees. We're gonna go into our child's pose. So we're just gonna sink down nice and low. Nice deep breaths. Really trying to sink that butt towards your heels. All right. What we're gonna do from here is we're gonna bring ourselves forward. We're gonna lie on our stomach, go into a cobra stretch. So your hands are on either side of your chest. You're gonna push into the floor and look up nice and high to your ceiling. You can also do this from your forearms. You're just not gonna get the same range of motion. All right. And then from here, you're gonna go on your hands and knees. You're gonna take your right arm. You're gonna thread it behind your left. Try to get your right shoulder all the way to your right pinky on the ground if you can. If you can't, just go to whatever level you can. Get that nice, long, deep stretch throughout your back. Notice how our elbows are bent to kind of help that rotation. And then we're gonna go back up to our hands and knees and just switch that over to the other side. You might find that you have a little bit more range of motion on one side than the other, and that's completely normal. And lots of deep breaths. Getting as much oxygen as possible to those muscles. From here, we're gonna go up into the top of our push-up position. We're gonna do a pigeon stretch. We're gonna lift our right leg up, bring it forward. So you can stay up here. You can also get lower and lower depending on your comfort zone. Whatever helps you feel the stretch most, that's where you should be. You want to feel the stretch. It shouldn't feel like you're being tortured, but it shouldn't feel like nothing's happening. You do want to feel an active stretch in the muscle. All right, we're gonna pop ourselves up and we're just gonna switch legs. Remember, do your best keeping that shin and your heel relatively forward. A lot of times we end up tucking the shin and our heel all the way underneath our body, and we're not getting the full benefit of this stretch. So make sure that leg is up a little bit. Really sit into it. That's it. All right, what we're gonna do, get onto your hands, head still down, slowly roll up. So your head's the last thing to come up. We're just gonna do a quick standing quad stretch. So find your balance. All right, keep your knee in line with each other. What you don't want to happen is either having one leg all the way back like this or your other knee right in front. You're trying to keep your knee in line as you're pulling that heel to your butt. So it's a bit of a tug of war going on, trying to maintain that alignment. All right, do the other leg. That's it. A slight slope. All right, and then finally, soft bend your knee, just reach on down to the ground. Let your upper body hang. Nice deep breaths on every exhale. Just collapse a little bit more towards the ground, but just on the exhales. And then finally, we're just gonna roll back up vertebrae by vertebrae till our head's up to the top. And finito, bada boom, bada bing, you are done. So, as always, 30 minutes, that's all you need. Minimal equipment, minimal space, no excuses.
Nope. Absolutely not. And if you're looking to make it more of a longer workout, you can add a fourth or a fifth set. Okay, at the weight, if you have that option as well to make it more challenging.
Yep.
And if you're just starting up, you can start with 2 sets for each and change the timing. So it doesn't have to be 45 seconds. You can start with 30 seconds of work and 15 seconds of rest and work your way up as you're increasing your fitness level.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, thanks for joining us.
Yep. Check us out on IG.
Yep.
And we'll see you next time.
Take care.